Welcome back to the Independence RP CAD and MDT training. In this video we will be going over the dispatch MDT. So you go to Patrol, you'll select SAC, which is the Communications Department. You'll select the server, and you'll put your identifier, which will be D0 and then whatever number you've been assigned. Mine is 101, just for the simplicity and because it's my unified identifier. Subdivisions might not matter for you, depending if you're Fire EMS or 911 EMD. There are differences between the two, and then there's also the LEO dispatchers, which are the basic dispatchers you start out with, and you can move on to Fire and 911 EMD later on. The district, you won't have to select anything because you're not in a district, you are just simply covering the statewide dispatching. So you'll save the patrol configuration as whatever you want it to be, and you'll hit begin patrol. You'll come to this screen, which I'm going to go for and clear that. Proceed. So at the current moment, it looks like a lot to look at to start out with, and trust me, it is. So down here, you have the emergency traffic only. Once you click that, you'll hear the tone. Same thing for fire and EMS. Okay, close that. Down in the right corner here, this is your pending call alerts, emergency tones, and broadcast tones. These are important to have on as a dispatcher, otherwise you won't be able to tell or hear 911 calls. So we'll start over here. Over here is your clock and your date, because today is then June 19th, the day I'm recording it. 1:38 p.m. for me. The clock and the date is in your local time zone, just to keep that in mind. So here is your unit display area. You can unlock these and move them around as you so please. If you choose to like have it down here or something, that's up to you. I like to have mine over here, and I like to have all of this over here as well. And I move this up here. Okay. So, actually I should probably move those down just in case. Actually, I won't have any units filling that anyway, but okay. So for here, okay, apologies, had to reset so I could get my test account set up in the LEO MDT. Okay, so starting over here, you can see your units. To change the unit status, it's a little interesting, but you'll select what you want to change. So let's say I am responding somewhere. You'll click the en route button so it's grayed out, and you'll double click the unit, and it will change to the corresponding color up here, and it will also change their status in here, which I have this open. Yeah, and it will change my unit status right here. So here, I'm currently selected to the LEO to view all LEO units. If you switch this over, you can see the LEO unit disappeared, and this is now the fire unit display. The changing is the same thing as LEO, just with one difference, which is arrived at hospital instead of unavailable. So here you can see the active assignments. We currently don't have any. I'm going to show you how to create one. And the active bolos here, you can also see. So the information record search is the exact same as the police and fire MDTs. You can look up the civilian that you're looking for. No flags, no warrants. You can also expand it to see the details, which will just show you all the regular basic stuff in the police MDTs. It's the exact same for vehicle and firearm. So to create an assignment, you'll go up here to start assignment. You'll select the type, which will be law, fire, medical. I'm going to show you the law and the medical one because they're law and fire are pretty much both the same thing, but medical has one extra thing to it. So law, you'll type in the postal, which will just be yeah, so you have a huge database of every street and cross street in the city. So we'll do Vinewood, Boulevard, and Alta Street. Sure. You'll create it. You hear the tone, and you'll hear that. This up here, this box, is your call title. So we'll do shots fired. And then over here is the priority, so we'll do priority 3 and LS district, which is Los Santos. This is the postal. This is the street. Obviously, you can edit those with these two buttons here. Here's the reporting party, which you can just take. So you can pretty much just take that from, you can take that from your caller if you're doing a 911 call. And then the unit assignment, you just hit the plus button here. It'll bring up all your units. It'll bring the recommended police units. So there's a difference between the recommended and the available. The recommended units are the closest units to your postal and your street. So let's say sorry, my test account is in Mirror Park, and there's a bank robbery at the Pacific Center Bank, and there's a couple other units around me as well. It'll bring up those units first and the recommended police units before the other available units. If the units here and the recommended aren't available is when you should go in this area here. So you'll click the plus button to add them. Oh, yeah. You'll hear that if you're in the police MDT like I am also, just so I can show you how all this works. You'll hear that little chime when you've been added to a call. And here are the call flags. They're all here. For this one would be armed, dangerous, and weapons. You can add those, and then you can also see those in the call details here whenever it decides to update. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And it will also tell you when your dispatch has been updated, or your call has been updated. So yeah, that is the LEO call you can code for and clear it. It'll set your units back to 10.8, and it will also clear it on the police MDT, and it'll bring you back to the dashboard. So I'll show you. The bolos are pretty simple. Boulevard, description, car. And you can create that. We'll just do me. 3. Sure. And it'll show up here as well as down here in the police MDT. So I'll just go ahead and clear that whenever it lets me. So to open it, just right click on it, and then you can just take it all out. I don't actually know how you clear the bolos, so we'll have to... Oh, there you go. Or not. Okay. Well, I'll figure that out in a second. So that's how you create the bolos. Currently unknown how you get rid of them. I think it's a bug. There should be a clear bolo button somewhere, but I don't. Oh, actually, wait. Left. Okay, so left click and hold will get rid of it. Sorry about that. I'm learning as we go here. So left click and hold will ask you if you want to delete that bolo. It will also do that for the active assignments, which I'll show you here. So for medical, we'll fill that out. We'll do 1, 2, 3, Vinewood. We'll do the same thing we did before, Vinewood Boulevard, Alta Street. Create. You'll hear the tone and that again. Heart attack. So here is where it gets a little bit different. It is the... Oh, shit, my fucking audio is going nuts here. Okay, well, I'll turn it over. So it's a little bit different. You could see this button here. It wasn't there in the... Whoops, I just opened TeamSpeak. Which wasn't there in the law call creation. These are your questions. So, in a 911 call for a medical call, you'll ask, is the patient conscious? They'll answer yes or no. For this, we'll just say no. Is the patient breathing normally? Yes or no? No. Those are your questions. And then, those are important because those come up in the call notes. So I'm going to add my unit again. To get rid of the unit menu, you just hit escape, by the way. So here, the reason why those EMD questions are important is because they show up here in the call notes with the dispatcher. So I'm not logged into the fire and EMS tone, or not tone, MDT here, but it's good to see this anyways, because while medical is responding, they can look at these and know how to prepare. Reporting party, call flags, all that is the same things. Mental illness, suicidal, violent, disease, you know, all those things. Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. And then the priority 3 LS. Yep, thank you. Associated people, which you can just literally put in whatever the civilian's name is. Which you'll add those in for... That's usually for if you know who is involved. Like, let's say you're on a shots fired call, and the LEO on scene radios back and gives you the name of the suspect. You can add that in there for other officers to see. And the reporting party is just your 911 caller. Here you can also change the assignment for the call as well. So I'm not going to clear it for you. You can also view the call log as well for dispatchers and LEO. So I'm not going to clear it from here. You can left click and hold to automatically close it once you hit proceed. Okay. So down here in the left corner, you have your chat, just like the LEO and Fire MDTs. It's the exact same. You have the chat. You can type back and forth, and you can open different DMs. Okay. That is essentially the entire dispatch MDT. This down here is a command line. Whoops. I won't go over this in the video because it's a whole other thing that would have to be its own video, because there's a lot of different commands you can do. But for now, that is the entire CAD and MDT tutorial system. If a unit goes fuck goes 10.7, 10.42 and they don't log out of the CAD, you can hit unavailable, left hold and click, and you can remove them from, you can change them from on duty to off duty, and it kicks them out of their MDT so you don't have to see them there. Alrighty. Anyways, that is the entire tutorial system for the dispatching MDT. Again, if you have any questions about how anything works, you can always message a staff member or myself. Have a great day.